Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen. A wonderful good morning. Assalamu alaikum, صباح الخير. اسمحوا لنا أن نبدأ بدقيقة صمت لكل ما يجري في عالمنا العربي والإسلامي وفي قلبنا في فلسطين. Ladies and gentlemen, allow us to give a moment of silence for all who lose their lives, innocent people, children, women, in the Holy Land. Please stand up with me and pay tribute to them. Thank you very much. A wonderful good morning, ladies and gentlemen, to the 13th Arab-Austrian Economic Forum. The first time in this location, and we are very thankful for our host, His Excellency Walter Ruck, the President of the Viennese Chamber of Commerce, and allow me to welcome on his behalf Dr. Alexander Biach, Managing Director, Deputy of the Vienna Economic Chamber. Welcome, Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, due to some circumstances in Vienna, and as you know, Vienna is a city with the most conferences taken places, and we will get some information from our member of the Viennese Council, Mr. Omar Al-Rawi, later on. But this city is one of the cities that have the most conferences worldwide, and we are very happy to have this positioning. But aside this, we do have the General Conference of the UNIDO, and therefore some of the ambassadors and ministers who were proposed to be here won't be with us today, but we will hear a lot more about this from our President, His Excellency Werner Fasslabend. Ladies and gentlemen, but nevertheless, we have a very interesting countries that we would like to present to you. And also we have some technique and new innovation that we would like to hear, where we have potential for deep and very essential partnership with the Arab countries. The Arab countries are our direct neighbors. And I think when it's come to crisis, especially when it comes to energy crisis, it's a very interesting partnership that we have to focus on. And this is our intention since we are here and acting in the name of the AACC, the Austro-Arab Chamber of Commerce. I don't want to lose more words about it. Allow me to welcome our newly elected president, His Excellency Werner Fasslabend, former Minister of Defense of Austria, and he has a lot of titles. I don't have the time, otherwise we will sit till tomorrow reciting his titles. Allow me to welcome our president to deliver his opening speech. Werner, the floor is yours.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to thank you for coming. We started in an unusual way, a moment of silence due to the actual situation in the Middle East. And I think what we should take out of this situation certainly is not resignation. It's not just a situation of looking what is happening in a wrong way, but take it as an opportunity in order to do everything to better the situation and to work, to cooperate together in order not only to shape situations of economic welfare, but also of peace, of stability, and of justice. And therefore, I really want to thank you very much for your coming. I guess probably all of you are now in a situation that it was very hard to take the necessary time to come here, to put it into on your schedule. I only can say, okay, if you look outside, the weather is not so nice. It's warm and very comfortable here at the Viennese chamber, and insofar I think you certainly have taken the right decision to do so. Heartily welcome to all of you. I just want to not to overdo the protocol, but I want not only to greet and to welcome you cordially, all of you, but of course it's also a usual way in our cultures and our civilizations to name a few people especially. And at the beginning, I probably would have started with our founder, Nabil Kouspari. He was the founder and still is the Arab president. He cannot be with us today, but his son, who also is a member of the board, and not only is overtaking his agenda, but also he is the person who will bring our welcome greets to Nabil. Heartily welcome to you, Luai Kouspari. Please. And when I start with the inside, I also want to say a heartily welcome, of course, to our Vice President, not only Vice President of the Chamber, but also Senior Vice President of OMV, and therefore involved quite for some years already in Austro-Arab relationship. Please say a really heartily welcome also to Mrs. Maria Mittermeier, our Vice President. And of course, it's a special welcome also has to go to one person who does have the task to represent all the Arab ambassadors located here in Austria. And it's my great pleasure to say a special welcome to His Excellency, Mr. Hamad Alkaabi, who really is working very hard in order to better and to intensify these relationships. And together with him, I want to welcome all the Arab ambassadors. Heartily welcome. I always feel very home when I am together with you. It's a great pleasure. Thank you for coming, and please also give him a big applause. Alexander Biach was already mentioned. He is representing this house, not only today, but and we have been acquainted already for quite some years, cooperating in many functions together, and it always was a pleasure. And I'm really happy that you are here, Alexander, in this house that is so important for Austrian economy and also for this relationship between the Arab countries and Austria. Heartily welcome to you, and please also give our best regards to President Walter Ruck, whom we estimate very, very much. Yeah. Next to him, at least sitting next to him, an old friend is also here. He is the representative of the Viennese government. He is coming today representing the mayor of the city of Vienna, Dr. Michael Ludwig, and probably all of you are already knowing this person. This is Omar Al-Rawi. Heartily welcome to you. And I also greet Mr. Tareq Alnassar, the Assistant Director General of the OPEC Fund, because the OPEC Fund is one of our co-organizers, just the same as the Chamber of Commerce. the City of Vienna, the League of Arab States, the Union of Arab Chambers, and insofar I really want to say a very hearty welcome to you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there are a few more persons also in the first row I can see over here, you know, that I have been knowing for quite some time. One is a privileged man, very privileged because he had the luck to be my successor as defense minister. Please greet together with me, Herbert Scheibner. And next to him sitting is the former governor of Burgenland. I was privileged, you know, to live in a small community very close, well, to his empire, you could say. I was lucky, you know, that I could more or less follow all his activities, but never was under his direct rule, you know. And this certainly also was a privilege for me. Thank you, Hans Niesel, and heartily welcome to you. I want to welcome, of course, all the excellencies. All the excellencies from diplomatic corps in different functions, and also all the representatives of the different ministries. And we do have representatives of the Austrian Federal Ministry of Finance and of Labor and Economy. And also Arab countries are represented by representatives of ministries, United Arab Emirates, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and also the Ministry of Energy, and the Ministry of Investment from Saudi Arabia. We will have the chance to listen to a Saudi minister around about at noon. Our Secretary General will give you the necessary information, because I really have to say that, you know, organizing such a conference, an international conference, is something where your hair usually do not become darker, but a little bit grayer. And one of these people that really was touched by this phenomenon is certainly our Secretary General and his team with Leila Kaplan at the top. They did an enormous job. We had to change the program, I don't know how many times, you know, and organize and reorganize and try to get, you know, because originally we were in the situation that there was planned that the OPEC conference should have taken place in Vienna already in these days. But it was the date was changed. It is now, I don't know exactly, the 30th and so on. And insofar, of course, the ministers did not come, and we had to change the program. And insofar, I really want to thank also everybody who has helped to organize this new situation. Yeah. It's also a great pleasure for me to welcome the Secretaries General of Joint Foreign Arab Chambers and Arab Chamber delegations. I have met a few friends that I have met already in Germany and in Amman a few weeks ago. It's a great pleasure for me. I really had the experience, you know, to become part of a very strong team. A team where friendship is not a rare expression, but is the normal status. And insofar, it really was an experience for me. Thank you very much for coming. And I want also to welcome everybody who is prominent. You know, I have made during my lifetime probably a few hundred welcome speeches. And I'm pretty sure that none of them, from the protocol and from the list of participants to welcome, was perfect. And I'm also sure that this today will not be perfect, that I have forgotten something, somebody was not maybe at the list because something had been changed. Please forgive us. We are only simple people, but we are ambitious. We're ambitious because we try, even in a situation when it is difficult, to make the best out of it. And this is what we try today with this conference. Because, as it was said, the economic situation, the political situation, also climate situation, and many other criteria have not become easier in the last years, but much more difficult. And we have to be aware that the biggest neighborhood market for Europe certainly is and will be the Arab market. The biggest neighborhood market, with around about 450 million people. We do have already quite some good relations. But still we are only, maybe not at the beginning, but in the middle of a process. And you will see, especially in the coming decades, Europe will need the Arab markets and the Arab world, and the Arab world also will need Europe as a partner, because together we certainly will be stronger. And if we try to cooperate, and if you look, not only at this differentiation of markets we do have, this multitude of possibilities, high, not only energy reserves and so on, everybody is aware of, but also investment capital, but also need in order to have an exchange, not only in economic terms. I guess the Arab world, of course, also can overtake quite some experience Europe had in its integration, because the Arab market is the biggest neighborhood market, but it's not an integrated market yet, and certainly will be able also to overtake some experiences. Not the same model, but overtake experiences. And insofar, I guess, that this very firm cooperation will be an advantage for both sides, for Europe and especially for Austria. But it is our intention to be at the top of the list when the question is to cooperate with Arab countries, and also for the Arab world. And insofar, thank you so much for coming, for taking part at this opportunity, and for being ready also to go into a new experience. When we said, okay, this is for the first time we are in this house, let us say also this house, this common house between Europe and the Arab world, has to be built up. Let us be bridge builders for the future. And therefore, thank you so much for your coming. Thank you so much for your participation. And I hand over to my Secretary General.
Wise words, Mr. President. Thank you very much for the wonderful words you addressed to us. Let me just speed up and try to give the floor to our host, and he has been already introduced. Alexander Biach is not only the Deputy Managing Director of this chamber, but also the advocate of Vienna when it's come to economy. And we had the opportunity to welcome just recently, Iraqi delegation in this house, and he was heading this, and I have witnessed his power and possibility, and believe me, sometimes you will get some person who can present a lot about this nice city, about this country, and please welcome with me Dr. Alexander Biach.
Dear Mr. President Dr. Werner Fasslabend, Excellency Omar Al-Rawi, Her Excellency Hamad Alkaabi, also a warm welcome to Mr. Tareq Alnassar, the Assistant Director General of the OPEC Fund, dear Secretary General, my dear friend Muda Kusha, well, Excellencies, distinguished presidents, presidents of chambers from the Arab regions and Arab ministers, it's a real pleasure to have you here. Welcome to the House of Economy here in Vienna. For me, it is a pleasure and an honor to welcome you all on behalf of the President of the Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Walter Ruck. He especially was the founder of this new building, or had the idea of moving us all to this new house. It's an ultra-modern building, but it has a long history. The Chamber of Commerce is the umbrella organization for about 150 companies located here in Vienna. So we do represent all of the Viennese companies, and this gives us some possibility to get also into business contacts with delegations all around the world. As we heard, we had some delegations coming from the Iraq and also from Morocco throughout the last month, and I think this was a fruitful meeting and first contact in order to build up a strong economical relationship. Today, it is a great honor to host such a high-profile guest of the Arab world, of various other nations, here in Vienna. And I'm also delighted to say a hard welcome to a lot of Viennese leading companies. I think this will be the basis for a good discussion we have afterwards and a good cooperation in future. Well, to lose some words also about the economical situation. President Fasslabend said before, the economical relationship between Austria and the Arab world is intensively growing all the time. We have about now 2.2 billion euros as the trade volume between Austria and the Arab world. So this is a quite high amount, and this is I think important. It's raising. We have about an increase of 13% in the exports of Viennese or Austrian companies to the Arab world in comparison to the last year. So it's growing, and this is a very good fundament for further business cooperations. Outstanding partners at all for us are the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. These are absolutely key trend-setting countries or economies from the point of business we are doing. Although, as we know, it's a pleasure to have the whole Arab world today here, and maybe it's also the possibility to deepen also the economical relationships to other countries in this regard. But at all, we have about 550 Austrian companies doing a very successful business and using also the Arab world as some kind of investment location in the Middle East. The investment volume, as I mentioned before, to the Emirates nearly doubled in the last 5 years. So this is also the reason why we are very concentrating and happy to have a discussion afterwards in the workshop with the Emirates. In the Vienna Chamber of Commerce, we have at the last years mainly proven to have good contacts to the different Arab countries. As I mentioned before, the delegations coming to Vienna, it's also about Viennese companies having the possibility to represent themselves on the expo in Dubai. So these were some good fundaments for the Austrian and the Viennese trade. Trade is a good mark word. We use our Austrian foreign trade centers, which are about 100 all around the world, in order to cooperate and make business in the region. And therefore, it's a pleasure also to have some kind of ambassador for the economy, for the Viennese economy in your countries. We will make more use of this possibility in order to deepen our economical relationships. Vienna is an interesting hub for new technologies and working fields which might be very interesting also for the Arab world. We have a high knowledge in about sectors like infrastructure. We have one of the best smart city solution strategies throughout the world, which means transforming the energy sector, for example, the wastewater sector, for example, the mobility sector into a new green economy. We have a lot of knowledge in the healthcare sector, in the pharmaceutical sector. About 25% of the products being exported from Vienna do come from the pharmaceutical sector. We want to share this knowledge. We want to make also business out of this. We want to get into touch with your companies in your countries in order to gain profit, not only in the regard of money, but also in the regard of developing our economies. We can learn such a lot in the energy sector, in the transformation you are doing, but we have some good companies and ideas which might also settle down in the Arab world. As all, today there will be the possibility to talk about this energy sector, for example. And I'm eager in looking forward for this cooperation, for this workshop today. I thank you all to have you here. Shukran.
Thank you very much, Alexander. And also some hints. We do have actually, in general, for the whole Arab countries, 22 countries, a trade volume in bilateral, in mutual way, 5.3 billion, which is for all Austria and all Arab countries in mutual way. Allow me to have the next speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not only originally Arab, coming from Iraq, but also member of the Viennese Parliament and the City Council. Just few weeks before he was joining a very big delegation to Saudi Arabia and the UNESCO conference, and allow me to say, he was the one who served and saved the position of Vienna being protected by the UNESCO, and he was doing a very big job for this, and this is for the entire city of Vienna, our beloved city. He is today on behalf of our Lord Mayor, Dr. Michael Ludwig. Omar, the floor is yours.
So thank you, Mother, for these very kind words. Präsident Fasslabend, sehr geehrten Damen und Herren, معالي الحضور والسفراء الحضور الكرام, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I have the honor, the privilege, and the pleasure to welcome you today on behalf of our Lord Mayor, Mr. Michael Ludwig. The reason why he couldn't join us today that the City Council is starting since 9 o'clock debating the double budget for 24 and 25 for the city of Vienna, would be annually about 20 billion euros a year. So for the next 2 years, we will have 40 billion euros This is the budget of the city of Vienna. Maybe compared to some nations, it's more than some countries who have this budget. And I will maybe redraw some things about that, where that is. Unfortunately, with a slight deficit, of course, due also to the interest rates that are rising. But there's a promise that none of the debt that we are going to rise for this deficit, all of them to be spent only in investments and not for other things. Vienna has a lot of things that make it unique. It's the most livable city in the world. It's the #1 in life quality. We are the greenest city. We have also chosen as the most unfriendly city, so there's not only positive things, but I hope none of you will have this impression taking part in Vienna. And Vienna is also #1 in Congress tourism. I would like, following the words of President Fasslabend, who spoke about the tensions in the world. Let's go back to the history. By 1814, the Vienna Congress was established in Vienna. It was the first try to find a solution to withdraw Europe of the Napoleon Wars, to find peaceful settlements, to make a coexistence possible without using power. Some of the people and historians say this is the birth hour of diplomacy. So Vienna is historically the place where diplomacy started. And they felt so well in this Congress that it took 9 months. So the delegation were enjoying Vienna, dancing all the time. The diplomats reported, the Congress is dancing. And a lot of the solutions were made at the evening by dancing, by drinking, by making networking. And that gives us really, in the history, a lot of possibilities. Many of us don't maybe remember that the Cuban crisis was solved in Vienna when Kennedy and Khrushchev met in Vienna. When I was still young and came to Vienna to study, I witnessed when Brezhnev and Carter made in Vienna to sign the SALT II treaty, then George Shultz with its Helsinki Acts, and then we had a lot of, till the atomic program of Iran and so on. And even Bruno Kreisky, who was the first one who made the path possible for the Oslo negotiations. So I would really hope and dream that Vienna would still be a place of meeting, of cooperation, where a lot of cultures, different ways could meet and could find a solution, because this is the DNA of our city, and that's why we're really proud that so many people joined us today. Talking about Vienna, of course, are all these things without any challenges? No, of course not. The 2020s years showed us how vulnerable cities are, starting with the corona disease, Ukrainian war, the economic and energy crisis, the rise of the interest rates, and a lot of things that makes us, for example, as a city who is very proud that we are the capital of the social housing and affordable housing living possibility. And when the interest rate starts to rise, it's very challenging to provide still these social housing projects. 61% of all Viennese lives in a flat or in a household that is either subsidized by the city or or belongs to the city. So we have, that doesn't mean that 61% of all Viennese are poor and they need it, but this is the thing, quoting also Alexander Biach, who said our smart city strategy, one of the pillars of our smart city strategies is that we said we're the social city, the social column, that our dream is that everybody could afford to live in Vienna who wants to live in Vienna, and it's not a city only for rich people who couldn't be there, and that's why you will see a really social cohesion things happening. The energy crisis is one of the most important, and the climate crisis that comes together in one thing. So we are very proud that we decided to have a strategy to be by 2040 climate neutral, and by 2030 we want to emphasize our efforts to the strategy of out of gas and oil. So more than 350,000 households in Vienna are provided with warm and hot water by using the energy for the incineration when we burn our waste and garbage. 230,000 households should have photovoltaic by 2030 and provided by that. That's about equivalent of 100 football fields. But it's not only the power of sun that we're using. We had the good opportunity that we found a very large geothermal place in Vienna. We are drilling 3,000 meters deep with a lot of other investors, and we will provide 125,000 households with this energy. But also the investment in thermal the old houses, trying to invest them to make a new to make this house energy fit for the future, and of course investing in the public transportation. Our public transportation provides about 2 million passengers a day, and we're investing in the 2 years now going on with the new budget about 3 billion euros to build and expand this public transportation network. Many people says, does it bring something to invest so much in this future green energy? And if you see that China and India, and I don't know what is not doing that, I am really. I know that I was 2 weeks ago in Delhi, and I witnessed the smoke, and the whole world will have to react and to deal. And I think these economic companies and these nations who will start now to do things, they are the one who will be in 10 years ahead of selling and providing these energies. And this is one of the most important things to invest in. You need for such things also the cooperation of the economy, and you need also the cooperation of the universities and of the science. So we are proud that we have in Vienna 20 universities in this city with more than 230,000 students that are living here. And this is the thing that brings the step before. Alexander Biach mentioned that we were in the pharmacy and also in the life science and all of the genetics. And we were very proud that Ingelheim decided, Boehringer Ingelheim, thank you, Mother, decided to make the investment for building the big cancer research center in Vienna and the district where I live, and invested more than 700 million euros. And we won the competition against Singapore. So it's not very easy to be proud to have this. And I think these are the most important thing, how we deal with our budget that we are going to vote on tomorrow evening. There will be 18% increase in the budget in concerning health sector, 17% increase in the social sector, for the education 15%, and for the kindergartens and education for the smallest our city more than 18%. And we are investing more than 7 billion in the infrastructure for a city compared now with Berlin, which has much more inhabited than us. They invest the same amount, and compared to Hamburg, which is similar to Vienna, they're investing only 4 billion. Munich are investing 4 billion. So we don't have to shy to see how much we're investing in the sense of future. Vienna, by the way, is the only European city that is a headquarter of the United Nations. We became now the 4th largest city. We used to be the 6th largest city in the European Union. One of the things is because we became 2 months ago more than 2 million inhabitants. And the second reason was not our achievement. Due to the Brexit, London is not counting anymore. That's why we had 2 steps to become number 4. Thank you very much, Mother, for organizing this beautiful event. Thank you for having the chance to deliver my speech, and the best wishes of the mayor of the city of Vienna, and looking forward to see you again, and I hope the next year will be in the city hall, the event. Thank you very much.
You see how politicians would like to advocate for our wonderful city. Allow me to step to our next speaker. Allow me to say the following. Since he is here in this nice country, I think the relation between Austria and the United Arab Emirates became, like a rocket. It's boosted. I didn't witness that boost from any other country that we are serving upon the Arab countries. Allow me to welcome the president of the Arab Ambassador Council in Austria, the current president, and ambassador of the United Arab Emirates, His Excellency Hamad Alkaabi. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mother. Your Excellencies, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good morning or afternoon. It is my privilege to stand before you today as we embark on this important forum to explore the strong economic collaboration between Austria and the Arab countries in the Middle East and North Africa region. The statistics from 2022, as we heard some of it earlier, cast a spotlight on the robust nature of our trade relationship between the Arab world and the Austria businesses. In 2022, Austria engaged in trade with MENA countries, totaling an impressive 5.8 billion euro, a noteworthy surge of 14% compared to the previous year. The substantive growth underscored the resilience of the economic ties and also demonstrating collective ability to navigate the challenges and capitalize on opportunities in this challenging landscape. The trade volume of the MENA region constitutes about 1.4% of the total Austrian trade. It's a significant, demonstrate the strong will and economic engagement, but I think there is room to grow. The foreign trade data for 2022 provided by Statistic Austria also unveils compelling trends in bilateral trade between Austria and the MENA region at large. Austria imports also from MENA region experienced a robust increase of about 16%, reaching 2.9 billion euro. Similarly, Austrian exports saw a commendable growth of 12%, totaling 2.8 billion. So these figures underscore the strong nature of our trade relationship between Austria and the Arab world, where both sides actually actively contribute to and benefit from such economic exchange. Now let me shift the focus on the economic relationship between United Arab Emirates and Austria. UAE continues to stand as the largest Austrian trading and business partner in the Gulf region, exemplifying a robust economic interdependence that continues to be strengthened every year. Characterized by mutual growth, both nations share similarities not only in size but also in population. The remarkable increase in Austrians' investment in the UAE, rising by impressive 20% to 4 billion euros, underscore the confidence and commitment of Austrian businesses have in the Emirates. Simultaneously, the UAE's investment in Austria has also witnessed substantive uptick, increasing by 12% to 4.7 billion euros. This reciprocal investment pattern emphasizes the trust and collaborative spirit that underpins our bilateral economic relationship. Despite the fluctuations in trade figures over the year, the UAE remains a steadfast, strong trading partner for Austria in the Gulf region. As I mentioned, we maintain the position as the largest Austrian trading partner in the Gulf region, showcasing an enduring nature of our economic ties. Austria engagement in the UAE extends beyond goods, with approximately 52% of the value exported goods derived from service revenues. Thriving tourism revenues experiencing also an increase of 8% to 333 million euros, further highlighting our multifaceted nature of our economic relationship between UAE and Austria. The strategic importance of the UAE for Austrian businesses also reflected in the strong presence at trade fairs and events, whether it was Dubai, Abu Dhabi, among other cities in the UAE. These events usually serve as a crucial platform for fostering cooperation, connections, and exploring opportunities across various sectors, including medical technology, constructions, defense, security, interior equipment, hotel equipment, food and drink, and transport infrastructure. Furthermore, the significant number of Austrian companies registered with the investments in the UAE, today there stand around 400 companies, underscore the attractiveness of the market in the country. Many of these companies operate either in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, with some in the other Emirates. Some are even establishing production facilities in the United Arab Emirates. Beyond serving the local market, more than 330 companies are actively engaged through agents as well. So the numbers is going up, operating in various free zones across the United Arab Emirates and extending their reach also to the entire GCC region, North and East Africa, and parts of the Indian subcontinent. So as we meet today here, it's imperative to recognize the potential for further collaboration and the exploration of untapped opportunities. The current numbers and statistics we've seen provide a solid foundation for our discussions over the next few days, allowing us to pinpoint areas of mutual interest, address challenges, and collectively envision strategies to elevate our economic ties to new heights. In closing, I extend my gratitude to the Austro-Arab Chamber. Mother, you've been behind this for a long time, and also all the sponsors who's been supporting this forum, and to their commitment to advancing our shared economic goals, strengthening the partnership between Austria and the Arab countries. I thank you, and I look forward for the conference.
Thank you, Excellency, for the remarkable words and wonderful English as well. So let me step to our last speaker in the opening session. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very happy to have in our beloved city OPEC Fund, which is the second largest financing institution worldwide after the World Bank, which is outstanding. His Excellency Dr. Khalifa couldn't make it today, but he sent a wonderful representation, and this is his Assistant Managing Director, Mr. Tareq Alnassar. Mr. Tareq Alnassar, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and your excellencies. Sorry, Dr. Khalifa could not make it today. He sent his apologies, and he would like to thank the organizers for your hospitality and generosity. OPEC Fund is not new to Vienna. We've been here since 1976. I have a written statement, would like to share it with you. We would like to thank you for the invitation to this illustrious panel today. We are very pleased to be here and see many of our partners and friends. OPEC Fund for International Development has been based in Vienna for more than 4 decades and building bridges with our host country, and always been hugely important and rewarding for us. Maybe some of you are not familiar with OPEC Fund. We are a DFI, Development Financing Institutions. We have a global mandate. We work in 125 countries, and our mandate is to promote social, economic development in our beneficiary countries. We are the only institution, we don't work in our member countries, and our member countries are the OPEC member countries. We are independent financially and legally from OPEC, And we are represented by the Ministry of Finance as our governing board. Now, we have very close relationship with Austria, with Austrian companies. We work, of course, and we don't work in Austria, but we work in countries where the Austrian companies work in. For example, we finance a number of line of financing for SME, small, medium enterprises, in Bosnia a number of times for Raiffeisen Bank. And recently we signed a line of credit to Raiffeisen Bank Albania, co-financed with EBRD, European Bank for Restructuring and Development, for an instrument called MEREL, which is minimum requirement for eligible liquidity, which is now, it's the common trend. And again, and this is to support gender equality and for climate action. Also, we have very good cooperation. We have actually a cooperation agreement with the Austrian Development Bank. We have long-standing relationship with them. It goes back to 2010 or 12, since the inception of the Austrian Development Bank. And we co-finance a number of projects with them globally. So we know Ms. Sabine Geber very, very well. Now, when it comes to energy, energy is very close to our heart. 30% of our loan portfolio to support energy project, and 30% of our loan portfolio is in renewables. And this is hydro, solar, and of course, wind farm. Now, what we did, we financed a number of projects in Egypt, Kamombo project, which is very large project, solar. This is what we did with another institution like African Development Bank, European Bank for Restructuring and Development, which is 200 megawatt solar plant in Egypt. And definitely this is to generate electricity for 130,000 households and reduce CO2 emissions by 280,000 tons per year. In Jordan, we're very active since the inception of the renewable energy field or segment in Jordan. And I think we are one of the pioneers, and we finance project with IFC, International Finance Cooperation, and with FMO, which is the Deutsche Fund. And this is called the Fila project, the first wind farm with 117 megawatts. And also we co-financed with IFC and other institutions, the Seven Sisters. These are a group of solar PV facilities totaling more than 100 megawatts. We also worked with the United Arab Emirates company, Masdar, to finance 200 megawatts Baynuna power project, the largest solar project in Jordan. As a result of our increased investment in renewables, they now account for 1/3 of our $3.3 billion commitment to the energy sector. Now, climate action plan, this is something we adopted last year, and it's been endorsed by our governing board. And the strategy commits the OPEC fund to dedicate 40% of our new financing to climate-related investment by 2030. Against the 40% target, we already achieved 33% by the end of 2022. So we are on the right track. Now, what we did also in countries outside the Arab region, we did in Panama. We support Panama with $120 million for national climate policy. In Seychelles, $20 million to support climate-related reforms in land development and fisheries. In Armenia, we just extended €50 million to support climate resilience